Hey everyone, Mano back here, and today we are showing you the fastest and the best farm for the Grasp of Avarice Dungeon. Yesterday, I shared a video on how to easily one-phase the boss on normal mode, plus a strategy that would allow you to one-phase the boss on master mode. However, we have got a faster mode for you today. What's great about this is two things. Number one, this works foolproof for people who are trying to farm the master version of the Grasp of Avarice, but it also works for people who are under-leveled. For those folks who are still struggling with the dungeon and looking for ways to get some of the gear, this is also your easiest way to get an Eyasluna, a Matador 64, a 1,000-yard stare, the Hero of Ages swords, or any of the Artifice Armor. As always, guys, if you learned something from this video or you find it to be useful, make sure that you give it a like and a comment down below. That helps other people to find it. And also make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video. All right, enough yakking. Let's show you the build and the technique that you need to do to farm the Grasp of Avarice on master mode really easily. All right, first things first, you're going to need to have two Well of Radiance Warlocks. That's the middle tree on the Dawn Blade. You really don't need to know anything else other than that. Just make sure you have middle tree on and you will be good to go. Let's go over weapons next. You are going to need to have Sleeper Simulant for this. I did some testing with a triple tap, Reed's Regret, and rockets and things like that, but truth be told, Sleeper is just the most accessible of all the weapons, and the Catalyst isn't hard to get right now since all you have to do is go farm some Nightfalls. It's very accessible and it's all you need. On top of that, if you've got a Cartesian Coordinate or a good fusion rifle of some sort, that will be your best bet. I like Cartesian Coordinate because it has Vorpal weapon and I can use that on the boss as well. After that, you can either use a Font of Might build or a Taking Charged High Energy Fire build. It's your choice. I'd also recommend having some kind of strategy to take care of the barrier champions. I'm just using an anti-barrier auto rifle, but you could use Ager's Scepter to kill those guys. Also, having an arc damage resist setup is going to be really nice. But when you start the encounter, instead of having arc damage resist on, really quickly turn off your other mods and put on linear fusion rifle reserves. Once that's done, you can pick up the rally flag with those linear fusion rifle reserves, and then once you've picked up the flag, you have the reserves in your inventory, just turn them back up to what you need them to be, whatever spec you want, but I really encourage you to have double arc resist to help fight the enemies. At this point, you need to have Lunafaction boots just to help increase reload speed, and there's a really good set of boots at Xur right now that you can pick up. On your class item, you need to make sure that you have Focusing Lens. That is key to this, as well as Particle Deconstruction. Now, some of you might be saying, I thought that they nerfed Focusing Lens with a Well. Well, that's why we're using two Well of Radiance Warlocks. Because of the way things work, we can actually use Particle Deconstruction and Focusing Lens with our individual wells and do a ton of damage. All you need after that is a Revenant Hunter. The key to the Revenant Hunter build is running Divinity, and of course, if you want to help up with the anti-barriers, an auto rifle, or any other weapon of your choice, I decided to go with a rocket launcher to help deal with the barrier champions. It's not a big deal since I'm not really doing damage to the boss. For everything else, spec it out for Trace Rifle, whether it's loader or reserves. Also, having arc damage resist is going to be really good here, but Radiant Light is fantastic for people who are using a Charge with Light build because this will allow you to get everyone in your fire team charged with light, especially if they're running a Charge with Light build. Also, having Protective Light is going to be very, very helpful. Okay, let's cover the stasis aspect of it. This is not 100% important, but this is how I did my build when I was using this. I used a Cold Snap Grenade because it's been improved after the most recent patch. It's really good for clearing ads, but if you want to, you certainly can use a Dusk Field Grenade. But in any case, I really make sure that you put on the Touch of Winter Stasis aspect. That will help the impact of your grenades quite a bit. Plus, put on Grim Harvest. This will help you get melee energy, which will be helping you to throw shurikens constantly, which will help you with the boss DPS as well as clearing enemies. All right, let's talk about the fragments. I really recommend that you have Whisper of Durance on, which will help your slow from your abilities last longer. Going to be very crucial for the boss. Whisper of Torment, where you gain grenade energy every time you take damage from targets. And then finally, Whisper of Fracture. That's basically going to recharge your melee when there are more enemies around. Using those three is critical. After that, the last two are not so important. You can mix and match these a couple of times. I didn't do a ton of testing on this, but I think that's going to be your best choice. As always, I'm assuming that you have done the Grasp of Avarice Dungeon before, you know how to farm it, and you know how to do this final encounter. If you don't, look in the top right-hand side of your screen right now to learn more. All right, first things first, go the far way around so you end up at the back of this ship area. and then start the encounter when you're ready. Have a Warlock put their well down and immediately pop your Stasis super. This will freeze these first two enemies here in the middle that are very annoying to deal with. Combine your Divinity plus the other fusion rifles from your teammates, and then have the other Warlock come over to the crystal to get rid of your burden by riches. It's possible that at this point, Grispax has spread all of those engrams to different people in your team, so having a well in the middle will help keep people alive, and immediately as a team, go after the anti-barrier champions. As the hunter, I can use my melee to freeze the anti-barriers for just a second and also help deal with all of the different adds. I can use my auto rifle to knock off the shield, and then also use my rocket launcher or whatever heavy weapon you want to use to knock out these champions really quickly. Quick note, if you don't want to carry the Scorch Cannon with you all the way, all you have to do is kill the Scorch Cannon enemy and leave the Scorch Cannon there. As long as you don't pick it up, it should stay there and not disappear. As the team continue to wipe out those barrier servitors and clear adds, you don't have to do this. You certainly could speed through it, but it does make the clear easier to do. Also, did you know that you can push the barrier champions into the water and instantly kill them? We didn't know that either, but that's a fun strategy as well. Anywho, continue through the process of collecting the engrams. You need to have 60 total. At this point, try not to put down the well too soon. If you need to, put down a rift if you are a warlock, but the hunter, it's critical to do things in this order. As soon as you're at damage phase, chuck a nade and immediately start applying divinity. At this point, you'll get the instant debuff and your teammates can start doing damage. Once the grenade goes away, instantly throw your super and keep your divinity rolling. By doing this, you can negate the nerf to the Well of Radiance and Focusing Lens together, and also get the increased debuff and critical hit of the divinity bubble. At any point, if you run out of sleeper simulant shot, just turn to your normal fusion rifle and continue to wreck the boss. The key thing as the hunter is you want to keep applying stasis as much as you can, whether it's a melee, a grenade, and then keep divinity on him, and it will be an easy one phase clear of the boss on master mode. All right, let's show you the warlock run here. First of all, our first well is going to go up and pop it right down on the stairs. Here comes the stasis super. Chuck a nade if you've got it for a warlock, and as soon as they're frozen and you get divinity applied, keep wrecking them. It takes very little time. I think we're only like 10 seconds into the encounter, and both of those really annoying enemies are dead. Now, I'm the second warlock, so I'm going to put my well in the middle to keep everybody alive as we deposit those burden of riches. All right, same job here. Clear some adds. Make sure that the barrier servitors are toast so that you don't have to mess with them. Again, this is optional, but it is by far the fastest and safest strategy. By the way, since you're going to be getting your super back repeatedly throughout this, feel free to use it and all of your abilities as much as possible. Help out your teammates, like right here. I'm going to chuck a grenade to help out in the middle, and then I'm going to go drop a well in the middle so that everyone who comes to deposit is going to be safe. Once you get your 60 motes in and you make sure that everybody is alive, wait until the very last minute to pop your well. At this point, just go mad on the boss. As soon as divinity and stasis is applied, go after the critical hit spot here. You can do a ton of damage. The great thing as well is even if you're under leveled as the person in the well, you get a ton of damage here. If you have someone who's not comfortable with it, you can have them run divinity, and at this point, just wreck the boss. It's so easy. It doesn't take any thought. All you really need to watch out for is if you run out of ammo, then switch to your Cartesian coordinate or any other fusion rifle and just finish off the boss. It is easy. As long as everyone follows the patterns that we've got in this video, you are going to be able to clear this thing insanely fast. On top of that, since the boss drops all the weapons, you can actually farm this thing infinitely as long as you keep a checkpoint. All right, folks, I hope that helps you out. And if it did, make sure that you leave a like down below. Leave me a comment. What weapon are you farming for? I just got a 1,000-yard stare that I'm really excited to try out in PvP. Let me know what you're hunting down below. If you want to keep up to date with everything going on in Destiny 2, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video. And as always, if you need any help, come on over to twitch.tv/ManoDestra, where we have our community-run exotic quests, dungeons, raids, grandmasters, and more. We'd love to have you join us. Make sure you check out the community Discord, linked in the description box below. Good hunting, Guardians. I will see you next time in the universe of Destiny.